Okay. Hey, that's Robbie, and I wanted to go through the some of the steps it takes to get your Class A driver's license. This is kind of an older manual right here, but hopefully it doesn't change too much that it's going to affect what we need to be taking a look at. So this is a little bit of a puzzle piece to the whole deal here. According to the book, you got 12 sections you got to go through, okay? And right now I'm going to be working on getting my permit to drive Class A, Class A like combination vehicles and whatnot. So that's my goal. I need to get my permit, so I have to go through Section 6. That's all as far as I am right now. I've gone through Section. The first thing you need to get is your the first license you got to get is your 1 through 3. That's how you can get your part of your B. You got to get that test done, Section 1 through 3. And you take a test for your general studies, and then 4 and 5 is your air brakes. Basically, I think you can skip 4, but number 5 is your air brakes. Take that test, and then you can get your Class B, and then you go through the 6, and then you can get your permit. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I've been waiting too long. So I thought I'd make a video just so I can go over it over and over, so I can redundantly learn. That's kind of the way a lot of people's minds learn the best, is going over things several times, and it helped me a lot when I was doing my pre-trip and whatnot, which I'm going to make another video on the pre-trip for the Class A trucks, so I can go through each step by step and just map it out in my mind, so when I go through my test I'll have it down fresh on my mind. So hopefully this is going to be a help for people who like to have another resource to kind of bank off of. I think a lot of people learn better when they're not all by themselves. They learn better when there's someone to talk it out with, so I'll talk and then you can post back and forth with me, and maybe we'll nail this thing. So 1 through 3 is for your general studies. 4 is if you want to start like carrying a lot of people, more than 13 people, then you need a license for an endorsement for that. That's number 4. And then 5 is the air brakes. And I'm past all that. I'm going to go to Section 6 for the combination vehicles, and I'm just going to take my time reading through here as if I'm just figuring it out, because I really am. So that is where we can learn together here. So combination vehicles is it's only 5 pages in this book. It shouldn't be that hard, and it's split up in 5 different categories. First one is driving combinations, just knowing how to drive them, because it's a lot different than driving the straight truck. There's a whole lot more warnings that it's a matter of life and death. That's why they make it very serious, and they're making it more and more strict for drivers. When you make mistakes, you could lose your license for the rest of your life. They're making it more and more strict all the time. If you've been driving or know anything about driving, you probably already heard about several of the laws that making it harder and harder to get licenses, and being more strict on the drivers, which is a good thing because it's so dangerous. Combination vehicle air brakes is number 2. Anti-lock brake systems is number 3. Coupling and uncoupling is number 4, and inspecting the combinations is number 5. So hopefully this is up to date. I know it's a few years behind, but I believe it's probably going to be a benefit either way. So hopefully nothing's changed here. So I'll go ahead and start reading. I'm going to go read the whole thing, and we can go through it and look at the questions that the book asks you. And there's actually a website that you can go to as well and take some mock tests, so you can get even more practiced up for your testing, because they ask you more questions than the book asks you as well. So I'll go ahead and start reading right here. This section provides information needed to pass the tests for combination vehicles, tractor trailer, doubles, triples, straight truck with trailer. The information is only to give you the minimum knowledge needed for driving common combination vehicles. You should also study Section 7 if you need to pass the test for doubles and triples. Alright, here's part 1. Driving combination vehicles. Okay, combination vehicles are usually heavier, longer, and require more driving skill than single commercial vehicles. This means that drivers of combination vehicles need more knowledge and skill than drivers of single vehicles. In this section, we talk about some important safety factors that apply specifically to combination vehicles. Alright, part 1 of the one is rollover risks. Okay, more than half of truck driver deaths and crashes are the result of truck rollovers. When more cargo is piled up in the truck, the center of gravity moves higher from the road. The truck becomes easier to turn over. Fully loaded rigs are 10 times more likely to roll over in a crash than empty rigs. The following two things will help you prevent rollover. Keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible and drive slowly around turns. Keeping cargo as low is even more important in combination vehicles than in straight trucks. Also, keep the load centered on your rig. If the load is to one side so it makes the trailer lean, a rollover is more likely. Make sure your cargo is centered and spread out as much as possible. Cargo distribution is covered in section 3 of the manual. That's earlier on, and you'll see that that's a big deal too. They showed like some of those videos about things, trucks getting in wrecks, and it's horrible what happened. There's no way that guy survived that wreck. I mean, it would have been a miracle on top of a miracle for that guy to survive, just from taking too sharp of turns on the freeway and then losing control. Anyways, okay. Rollovers happen when you turn too fast. Drive slowly around corners, on ramps and off ramps. Avoid quick lane changes. I think that's what happened to that one driver, especially when fully loaded. Okay, lane changes when you're fully loaded, very dangerous. Okay, that's the first part of the part 1. Second part is steer gently. Trucks with trailers have a dangerous crack the whip effect. When you make the quick lane change, the crack the whip effect can turn the trailer over. There are many accidents where only the trailer has overturned. Rearward amplification causes the crack the whip effect. Rearward amplification, that's one's in quote right there, says causes the crack the whip effect. Figure 6.1 shows 8 types of combination vehicles in rearward amplification. Each has in a quick lane change. Rigs with the least crack the whip effect are shown at the top of those with the most at the bottom. The most dangerous ones are at the bottom of the picture. I'll show you the picture in just a second. Rearward amplification of 2.0 in the chart means that the rear trailer is twice as likely to turn over as the tractor. You can see that the triples have a rearward amplification of 3.5. This means you could roll over the last trailer of triples 3.5 times as easily as the 5-axle tractor. Okay, let me show you the picture really quick, and then we'll go back to where we're at right here. Okay, it says that the bottom ones are more dangerous. Can you see that? Is all that's showing in the picture? Closer? Like that? You good? Okay, so you can see the top trucks on here are, hopefully you can see this kind of an idea of it anyway. It's showing you, like, the longer the trucks, the more, like, you're going to want to be careful about your crack the whip thing. Is that showing at all? Well, I can always show this on this screen later on, but yeah, this will be good. Yeah. Hopefully that shows a little bit, but the longer the truck, it sounds like you take quick lane changes, then the back part is mostly likely. It kind of does this like whip thing all the way through the truck, and then wham, the last of it will get the real whoosh at the very end, and that's where the last part can flip over. So pretty common sense. We'll look at some more pictures later on. I'll continue reading. And to steer gently. Could be a matter of life and death, it sounds like. Steer gently and smoothly when you are pulling trailers. If you make a sudden movement with your steering wheel, your trailer could tip over. Follow far enough behind other vehicles, at least 1 second for each 10 feet of your vehicle length, plus another second if going over 40 miles per hour. Look far enough down the road to avoid being surprised and having to make a sudden lane change. At night, drive slowly enough to see obstacles with your headlights before it is too late to change lanes or stop gently. So we got to be very careful when we're driving, so we can steer gently so emergencies can pop up and you can still handle it with grace there. Slow down to make a safe speed. Slow down to a safe speed before going into a turn. Seems like common sense, but I bet you they're stressing it because the trucks are so more likely to flip over than a regular car or whatever. But sitting in there, I'm sure we can feel the seriousness of it when we get out there. Okay, the next part is called brake early. Control your speed whether fully loaded or empty. Large combination vehicles take longer to stop when they are empty. That seems kind of weird, huh? Large combination vehicles take longer to stop when they are empty than when they are fully loaded. When lightly loaded, the very stiff suspension springs and strong brakes give poor traction and make it very easy to lock up the wheels. Your trailer can swing out and strike other vehicles. Your tractor can jackknife very quickly. You also must be very careful about driving bobtail tractors without semi-trailers. Tests have shown that bobtails can be very hard to stop smoothly. It may take them longer to stop than a tractor semi-trailer loaded to maximum gross weight. In any combination rig, allow lots of following distance and look far ahead so you can brake early. Don't be caught by surprise and have to make a panic stop. Yeah. Alright, now we're back to that page where we're looking at all the rearward amplification. It seems like it starts to amplify the danger towards the back, like we were talking about before. Okay, here we go. Here's part 4. Railroad highway crossings. Okay, railroad highway crossings can also cause problems, particularly when pulling trailers with low underneath clearance. Okay, these trailers get stuck on raised crossings. Low slung units like lowboy, car carrier, moving van, possum belly livestock trailer. Those kinds that go really low, right to the ground, right almost is just not that high above where the tires are going on the ground, so they're really low in the middle of the wheelbase there. And you're going over the railroad highway crossings, and you can get stuck on there. Single axle tractor pulling a long trailer with its landing gear set to accommodate a tandem axle tractor. So basically anything that goes low, it's a danger going over those, and you can very easily get stuck. If for any reason you do get stuck on the tracks, get out of the vehicle and away from the tracks. Check signposts or signal housing at the crossing for emergency notification information. Call 911 or other emergency number. Give the location of the crossing using all identifiable landmarks, especially the DOT number if posted. Okay, that's pretty simple. 5 is prevent trailer skids. Okay, when the wheels of the trailer lock up, the trailer will tend to swing around. Okay, this is more likely to happen when the trailer is empty, like we had talked about before, or lightly loaded. This type of jackknife is often called a trailer jackknife. Okay, and I'll show you the picture here. Like when you know what jackknife means. Okay, see that's the picture over here, and he's slipping out there. His back end is slipping out because the wheels are locking up. It's not the trailers are made to carry weight, so when there's not weight in there, you have to change the way you drive, because the response is going to be very different and very dangerous when it's empty. Seems kind of interesting, huh? Okay, so recognize this. Okay, the procedure for stopping a trailer skid is recognize the skid. The earliest and best way to recognize that the trailer has started to skid is by seeing it in your mirrors. Anytime you apply the brakes hard, check the mirrors to make sure the trailer is staying where it should be. Once the trailer swings out of your lane, it's very difficult to prevent a jackknife. Alright? Stop using the brake. Release the brakes to get traction back. Do not use the trailer handbrake, if you have one, to straighten out the rig. This is the wrong thing to do, since the brakes on the trailer caused the skid in the first place. Once the trailer wheels grip the road again, the trailer will start to follow the tractor and straighten out. Alright?